The following program contains language, images, and/or subject matter that may be objectionable to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Direct from Albany, New York, it's time for the New Media Zone. With your hosts, Ed and Dave. And now your hosts, Ed and Dave.
We've mentioned everybody's names throughout the years, but within the past couple of years, there have been incidences that have come to light and deaths, which make it more sensitive, some of our stories. So what we've decided to do is tell the stories. There are one or two things I will not mention any name.
Okay.
It's too sensitive.
Okay.
But our editor on this show, because I have too many other shows to edit, Bob Bouchot, I trust him. He's going to take the names out where appropriate.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, this is what I have.
Yes. I remember being more of a block, a big square.
Yeah, it was. We have the picture up here. It was a little square than the current version. And the current version has some kind of duck mascot for some reason. But would you like to relive?
Oh, God. Oh, that's
It still looks like a block
yeah,
inside.
it's the same.
No?
Okay, so the packaging is just different now.
And
the smell.
I remember this was the first soft bubble gum. It was a big deal.
Oh, yes.
And it was tough to get a hold of.
Oh, God.
It smells exactly like 8th grade.
It does. Armpit and ass.
Hello and welcome to the New Media Zone special Colony Central Class of 1980 edition. Now in this, what are you making? In this, you may see a show that covers, or two shows that cover Sand Creek. I was so traumatized. You were also, right? Where were you hit in the back? Was that Sand Creek? Or was,
I think it was.
Been, right?
Yeah, I think it was Sand Creek. Yeah, I was sitting at an unprovoked attack. I was sitting in the cafeteria, and I know the kid. I know his name. I'm not going to mention it. I mean, I can't hold him responsible for something he did at the age of 12 or 13. It's just kids do goofy things and weird things. But all of a sudden, he just wailed on me as hard as he could, hit me in the back with his fist, and it literally sent a tingle down my legs. It's how hard he hit my back. He could have paralyzed me.
It sounds like he hit a major nerve there.
Hit something there, but yeah, just sitting there eating lunch. Next thing you know, just kept walking. I don't know what it was about.
Unlike you, I do hold these punks responsible.
These punks.
Now, most of us from Maywood went through Sand Creek in high school perfectly normal without harassing or hitting people in the back or tapping him on the shoulder and all this other nonsense. So I blame one of those other schools.
Well, you know what? I'm not.
Which school did he go to back then?
I think that was.
Was it yours?
I don't know.
No,
maybe.
It was one of those.
I don't think I was an angel. I may have done some of these crazy
things. What did you do?
I don't remember. But I wasn't perfect. I'm sure I made fun of people. I'm sure I did. I may have done the tapping on the. Was it my face that's emblazoned? I don't know. I may have done some of these.
You don't do stupid stuff like that.
Well, stupid things are different than harmful things.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't do anything that I thought was hurtful, where someone would say 40 years later, "Oh, that guy, Dave, what a jerk." But I'm sure I did some weird, goofy crap. I mean, I barely remember stuff done to me. How would I remember if I did any? I mean, I wasn't out there. I wasn't one of these loud kids. I wasn't one drawing attention to myself. So I kept to myself for the most part. But I'm sure at some point I may have done some goofy things, probably to just my friends. People that I knew, but I wasn't going to harass someone or be a jerk. I do that now.
Just as a recap, for if you're watching this show before the Sand Creek shows, there's people doing annoying things. I won't say it was bullying really, but it was just annoying crap. You'll find out what that was that leads to this incident in 11th grade. So that's just now. Why don't we go back and let's remember the carefree days of 1977 when there was no viruses or turmoil in the air.
Okay.
I don't think the late 70s was a nice period.
Well, when did AIDS come in?
That was 80s,
Okay.
83.
Was it that late?
Yeah.
Okay.
75 to 80 was a beautiful time,
Okay.
except for late 79 when the hostages were taken
Right.
over there. But other than that, it was the disco time, Dave. I know you enjoyed several of the disco songs.
Sure, I did.
What songs did you like in high school?
More.
Did you?
By
Is that on?
I don't know the name. I can't. It's I forget the chick's name who did that.
So you've got the top 10
Well, I got
movies.
movies and TV shows and what is this? Songs? Yes.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do first?
Why don't you just read the title of the songs, not the artist? If we have to go to the artist, All
right.
Well, what were the top 10 songs of 1977?
Number 1. Tonight's the night. Gonna be all right.
That's kind of a sexy song. There's moaning going on. Oh, in the background. Do you remember that?
Nope.
No.
I just want to be your everything.
That was Andy Gibb.
Yep. Best of my love. Evergreen. Love theme from A Star Is Born. Angel in Your Arms. I don't know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I Like Dreamin'. I remember that song. I like dreaming.
Because dreaming can make you mine.
Because that's all I had. Your Love Has Lifted Me Higher and Higher.
Reader Coolidge. We should have done a game. I think I know all the artists there.
Don't Leave Me This Way.
Thelma Houston.
Very good.
That's still played a lot today in various things.
Undercover Angel. And Torn Between Two Lovers.
You remember that one? Torn between two lovers.
Feeling like a fool. Loving both of you
Is breaking all the rules.
Are we on key?
See, I can't play any of the songs because of rights issues, but we can sing them.
Sing them.
Yeah.
What's next? Shows?
Yeah, TV shows. What were the big ones as we were going into Colony Central?
You know what? And only like one I liked. Laverne and Shirley. Happy Days. Three's Company. 60 Minutes. Still on today. Charlie's Angels.
Right?
All in the Family. Little House on the Prairie. God-awful show. Alice. God-awful show. MASH. One Day at a Time. Hated One Day at a Time.
Why?
Bonnie Franklin irritated the crap out of me.
The thing about
I don't know what I just irritated me.
Bonnie Franklin, though, is she often went braless. Do you remember that? Which
No, because
No.
I couldn't stand her so much I didn't
couldn't
watch the
stand
show.
her.
Although Valerie Bertinelli was the draw.
Ah.
You know, at that age you thought, oh, she's cute. I'll watch that. But no, I couldn't stand that show. All in the Family was a good show.
Oh, yeah.
All right, what's next? Movies?
Movies. What are the big movies that were that?
All right, number
I
one.
know the first one, Dave.
Oh, go ahead, say it.
It's Star Wars. And it was just Star Wars then.
Right. Suddenly it became the fourth episode. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Did all sorts of good for the potato industry.
Oh, geez.
Saturday Night Fever. My personal favorite, Smokey and the Bandit. Goodbye Girl. In Search of Noah's Ark.
That was one of those Sun Classics films. It was like a documentary.
Oh God. A Bridge Too Far. The Deep. And The Rescuers.
Do you remember seeing any of those in a theater, and which theater was it?
No.
No.
Never went to a theater to see any of those. Now, had I, it would have been the Fox Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Or Hellman's Theater. Was it Hellman's?
Yeah.
Yep. And the Colony Center had a theater?
Star Wars I saw in the Northway Mall Theater.
Oh, I did not like that theater. Later on, they added more screens, but in effect just put a wall in the middle of one theater to split it up into two theaters and make the screens half the size.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember going to one, I don't know what it was. Oh, Mystic Pizza.
Ah.
I went to see. I walked in, I sat down, and I said, it's a TV screen. And that's about the size of it. But that's it.
Saturday Night Fever I saw at the Mohawk Mall theaters.
I didn't even know they had a theater. I knew they had the drive-in up there.
Yeah, Mohawk Mall. You never went to the Mohawk Mall?
I went to the drive-in.
Oh, yeah, the Mohawk Drive-In with
Not the theater.
Native American on the front.
Yes.
But we went, and my mother took us to Saturday Night Fever because, we like John Travolta from the TV show, and we knew there was going to be some rough language. But she said, that's okay, it's okay. Some of the roughest language. We're sitting there with my mother, and the sex scenes. And I even mentioned that I had seen this in 10th grade in the cafeteria, and I was mocked because I went to this disco movie. It was the most graphic film you'd ever want to see, with the guys taking the girls out in the back seat, and they only have 10 minutes, and somebody's coming in. Did you see Saturday Night Fever?
Later on. Was Donna Pescow one of the girls in that movie?
Yeah, she was in the back seat, and it was a kind of rough movie. It wasn't this disco thing here. It's thought of today, and all kinds of ethnic slurs are flying around.
Of those films, I've seen in its entirety, well, maybe not because since they added so much to it, but Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Smokey and the Bandit, I thought was funny. My father loved that, so we watched that together. The Goodbye Girl I liked, Oh God, and that was it. The Deep was basically Peter Benchley's follow-up to Jaws.
Yeah.
With Jacqueline Bisset and Nick Nolte.
And the Wet T-shirt.
Yes.
Which launched all the Wet T-shirt contests. Do you remember, did you take the biology class in 10th grade?
I did, because I remember the lovely Diane Rissler sitting next to me.
Oh.
So that
was she your lab partner?
You know what? I don't remember.
Do you remember cutting up a fetal pig with Diane Rissler?
A pig and a worm, a frog, I think. Anything I did with Diane Rissler was worth it, as far as I was concerned.
Well, my partner...
I don't know. I love Diane Rissler.
Oh,
what can I say?
God.
I had the thing for Diane Rissler. Even saying her name brings such warm memories.
Did you ask any girls out?
I was too chicken.
Yeah, we were too chicken then, huh?
Yeah, I would never have asked her out. I figured there's no way she'd go out with me, so I never asked her out.
A lot of the lovely girls in high school were probably not asked out because they thought, people thought they were involved.
Well, just in case any of you lovely girls are currently unattached, I am also unattached.
Dave is unattached at this moment.
And please don't let this can go. This is just because I retired and I go nowhere, and it's the coronavirus stay-at-home thing. So I just let it grow. But I'll take that off unless you like it.
Yeah, my partner was Michael Ruth as we cut up the pigs, and he cut up the organs and then tossed them around the classroom. That's what I did. Diane didn't toss any of the bodily parts around.
I think I would remember. But I don't recall any of that, those types of shenanigans going on. She was too classy, Ed, to do something like that.
Yeah. That was some of those antics. I guess Michael Ruth was known for some antics, but generally not at people and annoying people. He would just do nutty things.
Because throwing internal organs around a classroom is not horrible.
So in the beginning of 10th grade, the Incredible Hulk TV show started with the two TV movies.
Yeah.
And I remember, of course, we have the comic rack over here.
Yes.
I enjoyed reading the comics all through high school, but you cannot mention that you were reading the Hulk or Spider-Man, I don't think, in class. Wouldn't you be mocked beyond belief if you said you were brought in some comics to read?
Probably.
Probably.
See, I read comics, but the comics I read were more... I had a few of those, and I had a few of the Spider-Man, but I had vampires,
The Tomb of Dracula.
Yeah, I had all
and the
those.
werewolf.
And then I would get those bigger ones that were Tales from the Tomb, Tales of Terror, and the artistry I thought was spectacularly creepy.
Yeah,
those I really loved those. But those are the ones they were what, twice the size of those.
Yeah, they were dollar books and black and white, and you would get them at that pharmacy.
The Colonie Pharmacy.
Yep, that's where I went. But the one next to Pappy's, which we have the Pappy's hat up here.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that?
Pappy's.
Do you remember Pappy's?
Vaguely.
The carefree days of Pappy and his pizza.
Yes. Where was Pappy? Where was that?
It's where Grandma's is now.
Grandma's has been there a long time.
Yep, but Pappy's was there in Sand Creek era. It wasn't there all that long.
Hello, kitties!
And it wasn't Shakey's where they would show movies.
Wow. Pappy's.
But it was Pappy, and Pappy would make you happy, he said.
You make him happy.
There's a good chance that won't sit there, so put it on Darth Vader's head, Dave.
What if I just did that?
Okay, that's all right. So yeah, that pharmacy next to Pappy's was where I would go to get the black and white books.
Okay.
But of course, none of this you could mention in high school.
Nowadays, it's mainstream.
So when, today it's all over. You know, adults go to see the comic book movies. But when Chuck Rosanna was talking about the second Hulk movie, I was kind of cowering for him. Don't mention comic books. They're gonna come. It's like Carrie. They're gonna make fun of you. They're gonna make fun of you. But he was able to talk about the Hulk and how he picked up the bear and threw the bear. That second movie was really good. Do you remember the second?
I remember the bear going through the air. It was so awful.
Yeah, it was a bear suit that went through the air. But, he was talking about it, and I would like to have joined in the conversation and talk about the Hulk and the bear, but I was afraid I was going to be tormented. But they didn't touch Chuck for talking about the Hulk.
I watched that show, too.
Yeah, know what I liked about the Hulk? Because after those god-awful experiences in Sand Creek, you would watch the Hulk, and what I loved about the Hulk is not just the big Hulk, but when they would torment poor David Banner, and then he would turn into the Hulk and throw these bastards around. If I could just throw that bastard that was tapping me on the shoulder in Sand Creek, if I could only do that, Dave.
Okay.
So I came home and I watched the Hulk and got out my...
And it was very cathartic for you.
That's a good word for what was going on there. Okay, Dave Stott was a good friend.
Yes.
Were you a friend of Dave Stott?
I knew him well enough. I had later on ended up working with his mother. Or she supervised the part of the office I was in. Her last name was Davis. So she may have gotten remarried or whatever, but yes.
Yeah, but I only remember him like in 10th grade, and somehow at one of these lunch groups, it was finally somebody who was a fan of comics and movies and things that I could talk to without being harassed. So it was a good friend, Dave Stott, that I met there, and unfortunately we've lost Dave Stott.
Yes.
He was only 41.
Right.
I believe a lot of this was going in that West Wing cafeteria. Do you remember that? It was kind of off to the side. It was bright in there.
Yeah, was it right? Was the one wall, like for the exterior, it was outside?
Yeah.
Okay, then I do remember that.
It was upstairs.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun in there. I remember one of our classmates yelling at one of our Jewish friends.
Oh.
All kinds of harsh ethnic slurs. Nobody paid attention. This was the 70s, remember? Hey, and they were friends. They were just doing, carefree ethnic slurs across the thing. Couldn't do that today.
Well, you wouldn't do that with your friend? I would do that with friends if I knew they wouldn't, and they could do it with me. I don't care. I have a different sensibility. Those things don't bother me.
No, but across the lunch table, you wouldn't do that.
Well, no. But I mean, if it was just at my house, we were hanging out, no problem calling them names.
Dave turns up again. He liked to buy the Drake's coffee cakes, chew them up, and then like the boogers, but he would throw these on the ceiling, and they would stick there.
Why Do you have to use, why did you have to use his full name? He's not coming across well here.
No, you know Bob is going to take care of these names.
Okay,
in the
I hope
editing.
so. Okay.
At least the last name.
All right.
Anyway. But yeah, there would be stains up on the ceiling where the Drake's coffee cakes.
Okay, gross but harmless.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. So, yeah, 10th grade, we got to pick our own gym classes.
No, that's right.
Do you remember any of the gym classes you picked?
I took weight training.
I think I may have taken that.
That was just the universal gyms. You would go and work legs, one day. The next time you go, you'd work upper body, arms, whatever. Yeah, I took weight training. Took that twice. Didn't do anything for me.
I took cross-country cycling twice.
Cycling, all right.
Now, I didn't know, I thought it was cross-country cycling, not cross-country cycling.
Right.
Because,
Gotcha.
Because there was running involved, which I was not a fan of.
I took volleyball.
Uh-huh.
Don't remember anything
I
else.
took boxing skills maybe twice, where you'd go in and hit the bag and the heavy bag.
Oh, I did that too.
You did?
Yeah.
No football or basketball, none of that stuff would I take.
I took basketball.
You did?
Yes.
And why we had to do the shirts and the skins?
Shirts in the skin. Well, because that one
teacher
who followed us from Sand Creek to Colony, and he had to watch.
They couldn't have had like colored vests you thrown on to. That was another embarrassing thing. I think we can move on to 11th grade here, Dave. Everything's been covered.
This is a 6-hour show.
78. How were the movies and TV in 78, Dave?
I don't know. You got to give me that sheet, don't you?
I do have to give you that one. What was going on in the media in 78?
All right, let's start with songs. Wow, they're all bad. Wow, they are all awful. Shadow Dancing, Night Fever, You Light Up My Life, Staying Alive, Kiss You All Over, How Deep Is Your Love, Baby Come Back, Love Is Thicker Than Water, Boogie Oogie Oogie, and 3 Times a Lady. Yeah, there's that. I think the only one that was even halfway decent is You Light Up My Life.
Oh, no. That was big all summer there.
Yes, Debbie Boone.
You're not a big fan of the disco songs.
No, they all are awful.
I enjoyed all of the disco. I enjoyed most of the songs from the 70s.
Andrea True Connection.
More.
That's the one.
And she was a porno star.
Yes, she was.
And when you think about the words to that song,
Yes.
she's kind of singing about doing the pornos.
More.
How
do you like it? How do you like it? More. How do you like your love?
Get the camera going and get the action rolling.
God, how stupid was I back then? TV shows?
Yeah, TV. What was going on?
A lot of the same ones. Laverne and Shirley, Three's Company, Mark and Mindy, Happy Days, Angie. What was that?
That was Donna Pescow.
Wow, how long did that last? Because it's top 5, and I don't remember that show.
2 seasons.
Wow. 60 Minutes, MASH, The Ropers, All in the Family, Taxi. All right.
Watched most of those.
I watched, of those, 60 Minutes.
Oh, that one I didn't watch.
I watched 60 Minutes. I was off of MASH by then. I think I watched the first 3 years of MASH, which would have been like 72 to 75.
Yeah, when Frank left, that was... Yeah.
Not much of the other ones. Very little of the other ones. Did that already. Sorry. All right, movies.
Oh.
Grease. National Lampoon's Animal House. Superman. Every Which Way But Loose. Jaws 2. Heaven Can Wait. Hooper. Halloween. Convoy. And California Suite.
Saw a lot of those in the theater.
I saw Jaws 2 in the theater. Took my father, which would have been 78. Yep.
Yeah.
That was probably the only one I saw in the theater. Heaven Can Wait was one of my favorites in that era, and to this day, still a good movie. And of course, Animal House for its fine boobage.
Now, Superman, I said, I'd chat with the movies with Dave Stott, but Dave Stott would run out and see these things on opening night. And I would wait till the crowds died down. So often, Dave Stott would, what we call today, do spoilers.
Oh.
I said, no, tell me about Superman. I haven't seen it yet. But I would many times have to stop him because he would run right out and see these movies on opening night. So here we are in 11th grade, Dave.
Yes.
Do you remember there was a pregnant girl?
I don't remember.
In the class. I don't know which grade she was in, but this was kind of shocking for the day. A pregnant girl in the high school.
Wasn't me.
Something like...
Definitely wasn't me.
Do you remember any of the classes? Were you starting to drop classes that you couldn't handle, like trigonometry?
No, I took that. I took calculus.
Ooh.
Too.
What grade was that?
That was 12th grade.
Yeah, I didn't make it there.
I took trig. I believe that may have been Mr. Williams for trig. I know I had the wonderful Mr. Outman for, I believe, geometry. I would have to say he was my favorite teacher of all of them, ever.
Yeah, you gave a great memorial to him on one of our shows.
Yeah. When I heard that he had passed, I liked that guy. He was funny, a little intimidating, but for some reason, I liked him. He seemed to like me. But trig was Mr. Williams, and I don't know who algebra was, but yeah. What are you looking at? What are you going for?
I don't know why I was taking trigonometry in 12th grade, other than I think I failed it. I thought I had done away with trigonometry, but I found one of my tests here. What grade did I get on this test?
Not a good one. Unless it's out of 50.
47 I got on this one.
Out of 100?
Yeah.
That's not good, Ed.
No, I must have dropped this. This was 11480.
Trig was what? Cosine, tangent, cotangent.
Yeah. I see some cosines and sines.
Yep.
When we were saying back in, I don't know about today, kids are doing a different kind of math, but when we said that we would never use this stuff again, believe me, we never used whatever this is on this paper again. Cosines and sines.
I'm going to defend math here for a second. You are correct. We don't use sine, cosine, tangents, all that kind of terminology. But I believe most of what we do is math. It's math in some manner. You just have to know basic measurements. Everything's math. And when I worked for the New York State, who would have thought that what I was doing was math? But it was math. I ran reports. I had to do inventory. I had to know how much was being processed, the percentage of usage, months over years. It's all math. It's all math. I had to calculate, how much of something was going to be used in the future based on previous. It's all math. So I used math a lot.
You did use math.
I did use math. And I just think if you really sat down and thought about everything you do during the course of a day, some of it's math. Even if you're going to paint a wall, Ed, you have to know how much you're going to need. It's math. It's figuring. You're calculating things.
What about chemistry? Would that one?
No way in hell.
No. When I went to drop my chemistry class from Mr. Britt, he said, well, what are you going to do in the future? Might you use chemistry in some manner? And I said, well, I'm looking into photography, and the only thing with chemistry there, I might be mixing up some chemicals and some solutions, and the instructions are right on the package there. So I don't think I really need all these borons and all this other stuff we're learning
and
here.
The periodic table.
Which apparently... math and science were not my thing.
Okay.
Now, I did find I took mythology class.
So did I.
And anytime you could make an art project for a thing, I usually took that route. I made a lovely game board with all the mythology things on it. Mm-hmm. And I got a 97 on that.
That's a little better than that 47 you got in trig.
That's right. So that was my thing there, not math. I think we call that STEM today.
Science, technology, something, and math. Is it engineering?
I think so.
Media Zone has been a Cable 2000 production.